One of the questions I get as a Dokkan Battle streamer is whether or not someone should invest their Dragon Stones in any one particular banner. That's a difficult question to answer for a lot of people because, let's just face it, everybody's needs and wants in this game are different, and everybody's skill levels and time that they've put into the game is going to be different. As a result, the kinds of cards that you're going to need tend to vary pretty wildly. But if you do decide that you want to pull on certain banners, it's good to know exactly what you're getting yourself into. In this particular case, we're looking at the Decisive Battle for the Future, this new banner that came out about a day or so ago. I probably should have did a video the previous day, but, you know, I was a little busy. So the first thing you're going to notice is that this particular banner allows one summon as a GSSR summon, and you can get the physical Super Saiyan Trunks or the tech Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. Long story short, both of these units are actually really good. They are considered high tier cards on Global, and they will be high tier cards for quite some time. So, the biggest thing when you decide to pull on any particular banner, when you decide to invest Dragon Stones on any banner, is that you need to look at the banner cards, because these are the heavy hitters that you're going to be trying to pull for. Everything else is a icing on the cake. In particular, one of the two SSRs that you can actually pull that are guaranteed with this one summon is this physical Trunks. Like the rest of the Super Saiyan Trunks, future Super Saiyan Trunks, it's actually possible to grind up his super attack. It's a very long, very annoying grind, but it's possible. So getting his super attack to 10 without Elder Kais should be totally feasible if you have the patience and the resources required to actually grind up the free unit from the story event. So let's go ahead and look at some of these banner cards here. We have the Lightning Fast Strike, Super Saiyan Trunks, Future, Physical. His leader skill is not that great. I really don't understand what they were thinking of when they decided to give him this leader skill. It is like a slight step up from like the Cyberman card. It's so strange. But we're really not looking at this particular card for leader skill. We're looking at it for the passive skill. It is a great support card. Attack and defense plus 20% is spectacular. It's not really going to help you that much in the early game, but late game on a mono physical team or like a super team, really, really strong. This particular card's links has, as far as links go, has Golden Warrior Super Saiyan, which are pretty, you know, easy to guess because Super Saiyan card. But it also has Prepared for Battle, which is one of the most numerous and easy to obtain, because there's so many cards that have Prepared for Battle. So feeling this card as far as key goes, really not too bad actually. And then of course he Dokkan Awakens using using the Awakening Medals. Sorry, gosh, I can't think. I just woke up a little bit ago. He uses the Awakening Medals that you can get from the new Dragon Ball Super event, and he becomes well, I mean, I call it Father-Son Gallic Gun, but it's referred to as, well, actually it is Father-Son Gallic Gun. My bad, I was looking at the wrong thing. So it's Father-Son Gallic Gun. You'll note that it still stays a supreme damage modifier, but it gives allies an attack boost for one turn. It's attack plus 20%. So in a way, this card is very reminiscent of the Tech Vegito card, but the difference is that it has better links. Well, kind of yes and no. If you're trying to make a fused fighter team, Vegito is going to be obviously the better choice, but in most other teams, you're probably going to want to go for this one. As you can see, this particular card has attack and defense plus 20%, but it gains an extra 5% when you Dokkan Awaken it. Not that big of a deal, but the fact that it's basically free anytime this card is out, there's really no reason not to use this card on most teams. Most rainbow teams, most mono type teams. So good to have. This is definitely a spectacular pull, no matter if you're new or old, but more so for new players than for old players. Mostly because there's an even better Trunks coming out very, very soon in the Merge Zamasu banner, who's much better to aim for in comparison to this particular card. So moving on here, we have the Saiyan Tenacity, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta. Really not much to say here. Gallic Gun deals supreme damage. The leader skill is odds are, even if you're new, you probably have a better unit to use as a leader than this particular card. But again, we're not really looking at this card for the leader skill. We're looking at it more for like the stats, the passive skill, and the links. Again, Super Saiyan links. Well, Super Saiyan Link, there's only one particular one. But this one also has Prepared for Battle. He links fairly well with the physical Trunks, but not really anything you'd go out of your way to acquire, especially not on this banner anyway. So as far as the passive skill goes, attack and defense plus 60%. When facing only one enemy, that doesn't really sound like that great of a passive skill, but then you also have to remember that most battles where that stat boost is going to matter is going to be in like Dokkan Fests. And 9 times out of 10, there's only going to be one particular unit that you're going to be fighting at that one particular time. So, in fights that matter, the passive skill is going to trigger, and it's going to increase damage and defense. Really not bad. Not amazing, but not bad. And then, of course, when he Dokkan Awakens, instead of 60%, he gets 70% on his passive. The super attack becomes Father Son Gallic Gun. And like the physical Trunks before him, allies get an attack boost of 20% for one turn. So, really, the question at this point kind of becomes which card is better. And I would have to say they're both really good. No matter what you pull, you're probably going to be pretty happy with it. They both have pros and cons. I'd say they're about even keel, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, those are the two major cards that on this banner that you'll be pulling with the GSSR. You're going to be pulling one of these. So no matter which one you get, you're still going to have a really good unit. As far as the rest of the cards that actually come on this banner, Indomitable Battle Super Saiyan Blue Goku. As a strength unit, he's okay. Supreme damage to the enemy, no surprise there. Supreme damage modifiers on super attacks these days is par for the course. So, you know, that's definitely something you have to consider, because sometimes Bandai Namco slips in the like cards with lower modifiers but like higher stats or like better leader skills, but don't be fooled. As far as leader skills go, though, this is actually really good for newbies. If you happen to pull this particular Goku, all types key +2 and attack and defense +20%, that will take you pretty far. Unfortunately, this particular card doesn't Dokkan Awaken yet, but I'm figuring that at some point it's going to. It's inevitable. So the leader skill, spectacular if you're like early mid game, you're like running on some sort of crappy leader. You pull this card, you're gonna be set until you pull something better. The passive skill, attack plus 80% when facing only one enemy. Again, most times that you're going to be wanting this to activate is going to be during Dokkan Fest. And again, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have only one enemy that you're facing, so that's going to activate pretty frequently. And an attack boost of 80% is actually pretty solid. As far as skills go, again, Super Saiyan skill, Super Saiyan Link skill, I should say, Prepared for Battle, super good. So obviously this particular card links great with this one, but then Super Saiyan Blue cards sharing links with each other, like, really, really well, is something of a trend that's gone back as far as the very first Super Saiyan Blue cards released on Dokkan Battle. So if you happen to pull these two particular cards, and you need really strong units for your rainbow team, these two play really nice together. So definitely another good card that you'll want to pull. Not exactly meta changing, but if you're expecting every card to change the meta and like thrust you into the current meta, then this is the wrong game for you. I believe this card actually came out a little while ago. As you can see, he starts out as the base form Future Trunks, and the Dragon Ball Super, story event, sorry, has the drops one of the Future Trunks, the Strength one. It's just an SR, but you can awaken it into an SSR, and you can feasibly increase the super attack on this particular unit to 10 fairly easily and fairly quickly, if you're lucky. The links on this particular card, not that great. He'll link fairly well with, like, most Vegeta cards are like Super Saiyan Future Trunks cards. But you're really not playing, you're really not aiming for this particular card. You're looking to Dokkan Awaken him after you max out his super attack. And then he becomes Humanity's Hope, Super Saiyan Trunks Future. There's a lot of Super Saiyan Trunks. It's still Super Saiyan Future Trunks in this game, so it's tough to pick which one to use. But if you happen to have this one, it's not a bad deal, actually. He Dokkan Awakens using Vegeta Blue Metals. And he gets Prepared for Battle, which again is great. If I'm not mistaken, he also gets, yeah, of course he gets the usual gamut of Super Saiyan links. So Super Saiyan and Golden Warrior. The leader skill, nothing to really write home about, not that big a deal. But the passive skill, attack plus 70% when facing only one enemy. Again, most battles in this game you're going to be fighting against, most battles that matter, I should say, you're going to be fighting against one particular enemy. So free 70% attack boost for facing one enemy, that's really not that bad. Like, absolutely no conditions. So the super attack raises attack for 3 turns, but when he Dokkans, it raises the attack for 6 turns. And as far as the passive goes, it gets a modest 10% increase to 80%. So again, really, really good card. And best of all, it's easy to grind up his super attack. So once you Dokkan Awaken this particular card at super attack 10, he actually becomes pretty formidable in super teams and in like mono tech teams. So definitely not a bad card to have if you don't happen to pull, say, this guy. He's definitely a really good consolation prize if you get the Vegeta instead, and then you happen to pull this guy in the same pull, or if you happen to have him before. Again, good consolation prize. As far as the rest of the cards go in this particular banner, they're really not that big of a deal. This particular Mai is not bad, but it's an intelligent stunner unit in a in a meta, in like a mono intelligence meta that already has really strong stunners like Turles, or even like General Blue. But this card is notable not because of the leader skill, but because of the fact that she really gets 2 chances to stun the enemy with Flash Grenade, which causes spring damage, and her passive skill, which gives her a high chance of stunning the attacked enemy. So if you're supering, you have 2 separate chances to stun the enemy. I'm not particularly sure what the actual percentage is, but judging by the fact that it's a rare chance, I'd say it's probably like 20-30%. So, you know, about 20-30% chance to stun the enemy with the super attack, and then like a high chance, you're probably looking at 50-60%. So I don't think she's like blue levels of stunning potential, but still not too bad. Not too bad. If you have nothing better in a mono intelligence team, she fits in real nice and helps increase your mono intelligence team's longevity. So pretty good. Zamasu, obviously, the only time like you're gonna get super excited for pulling Zamasu is if you have Omega Shenron, because he fits in okay in mono strength teams, or you happen to have Rose, in which case he links really, really well with Goku Black, obviously. The passive skill is kind of strange. Attack plus 50% and recover 7% HP whenever HP is 80% or below. In a lot of cases, this isn't going to activate unless you're doing like Dokkan Fests and you're not doing that hot. In which case, the 7% HP bonus is really not going to make much of a difference. Consolation prize, though, is that his super attack lowers defense, so not bad. Then we have Hit. I don't even really need to go into why Hit's bad, but he's basically another Mai that doesn't link very well with the Trunks cards. So, I mean, if you pull him, he's a nice bench warmer. He looks good in your box. You know, you stare at him, wonder when he's gonna get a Dokkan Awakening. But besides that, if you pull this guy, I'm sorry for you. And same with this card. He's okay. That's really all there is to say. Because I mean, look at his super attack. Greatly raises attack and causes huge damage to enemy. A huge damage modifier on this one, like, it couldn't have been something better. It couldn't have been extreme. Like, this card would have been more viable on mono tech teams if they'd have just gave him a supreme modifier. Everything else is fine. I mean, the HP requirement on his passive skill is not that amazing. But so yeah, I mean, long story short, most of the cards that you can get on this banner are really not that bad. So it really kind of boils down to, should I pull on the Decisive Battle for the Future banner? In which case, my answer would honestly be, are you new? If you are, this is a GSSR banner, pull on this banner, because you're going to get one of 2 really good cards. Are you about mid-game? Are you a mid-game player? Are you the kind of person who's like starting to finally tackle Dokkan Fest? And starting to Dokkan Awaken your stronger cards that you've pulled in the past? Yes, pull on this banner, because again, these 2 cards are quite powerful, and Dokkan Awakening these particular cards is extremely easy. These cards will fit into some kind of niche in one of your teams one way or the other. Especially if you pulled, say, Vegeta Blue, or you happen to just have like a really super-centric Rainbow team. But if are you an endgame player? No, I wouldn't pull. I wouldn't waste the 50 stones on this particular banner. Not especially because we have a big metagame shift coming soon. And that comes in the form of the Super Saiyan 4s. That's obviously going to be in about, let's see, it's May now, so about a month and a half till we finally get the Super Saiyan 4s. And again, that's a big meta shift. So you're probably going to want to save your Dragon Stones for those particular banners, because all the units on those banners are amazing units. In my opinion, the units on the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta banner are better, but it really depends on your wants and needs. When the Super Saiyan 4 banners come out, we'll make another video about that, and we'll go over the particular units on each banner and whether or not you should pull on any one particular banner. But for now, we're just gonna go ahead and end it here. I really appreciate you guys checking out my video. Definitely subscribe if you enjoyed this little analysis, and catch you guys later.